Can I go live? Hello, welcome subscribers. Thank you all very much for joining me in yet another video. And again, special thanks to those who joined me in the chat and the live stream. Guys, we've had an interesting day today as well. We've seen precious metals, at least silver and gold, jump up considerably. So we're going to take a look at that. Is it a pump to dump scenario? So we're going to take a look at that. Platinum, not much has moved up there. It's up by about $5. We'll take a look at that as well. And we'll also look at palladium. Palladium obviously hitting new highs. So we're going to take a look at that as well. If you're watching this video afterwards, again, thank you very much. Give it the thumbs up and obviously hit the comments button as well. I'd really like to hear your feedback in relation to any charts. Got a couple of people in already. We've got Jody, RPM Limited. Guys, thanks so very much. Good evening to you. I'm about half an hour later than normal. I was just having an issue setting up, but everything is ready to go. Good to see you. Hey, guys. We'll have a further look. I've also got an article for us to have a look at as well. Gold jumps 3.2%. We're going to look into that. We'll also look at, from a dump to pump scenario as well. So we will also have a look at that as well. So a few more people in here. Jody, how you doing, Jody? Good to see you. And Christian as well. Christian's here as well. Evening, Limey. Hope you are all well. Right, good stuff. We'll also be looking at Bitcoin as well. Bitcoin's come down considerably. The last video I did on Tuesday, I was saying we'll be looking at a $6,000 Bitcoin. Obviously, at the moment, it seems to have gone up quite a bit as well. So we were in the sort of late sixes. We're now up to about the late sevens. So it's interesting how the market's gone up. It's about $350 up today. So we're going to take a look at the Bitcoin token. Can you guys just hear me okay? Just let me know if you can hear me just fine. Oxy88, hi, hey buddy, how you doing? Says, how's it going, guys? Finally made one. Well, no, I'm glad you did. If anyone's interested in becoming a donator, for those that are not donated to the channel, hit the description information. You'll see it there. We're doing a giveaway at 10 donators. 2 more spots available, and then we will be giving away some silver. Also, I've got a 1,400 subscriber giveaway that I'll be doing relatively soon. We're going to have there will be a live stream for that. More information on that in a future video. So just make sure you've got the subscription video, the subscription button set, notification set, and let's crack on with this. Right, so we're going to look at silver. Starting off again, it's back up to $17 an ounce. So it's up 10 cents, it's down, it's up. You can clearly see a pattern forming in this area here. Now, this is where we left off from Wednesday. So you can obviously, on Tuesday. So you can clearly see that was our resistance level there that we can see, which is this yellow line. That's still currently in place. However, our resistance level is now dropped slightly. So it looks like we're heading in a lower formation from that. So let's look here. So there's our new resistance level. Where does that sit in relation to how the chart is laid out? If we have a look, we've got a resistance zone in this area here. You can clearly see it at these 3 candles here. So that definitely ties in place. Also, our 100 EMA line is perfect where resistance is. You can clearly see it. You can see we've had a bit of a pump. We had a bit of a breakout over here. It was a very small breakout, guys. Nothing really to talk about. If I enlarge it there, you can see exactly where we were. We went down as low as 1686 before support kicked in, buyers kicked in, and pushed the price up to 1704. So again, it's not much to write home about in regards to that. You can still see we're in a sideways potential at the moment. So that's where we are here. This is today here. So that was our breakout maneuver right over here. There's our major resistance here. It's still currently in play. The resistance at the moment is pretty big. Even in the last video, I said more than likely I was expecting us to play in this area here. Was that 1655 to 1708? That was pretty much where I was expecting to see that activity. And you can clearly see over the last 3 days, that's exactly what we've been doing. We've been between these 2 lines. And again, we haven't really broken out as much as everyone would have thought. There was an initial breakout there, or potential for a breakout on Wednesday. It's failed. The sell-off continued, and we ended up just under it. Again, tried to attempt to break out yesterday, failed, back down again. And today we finally did it. But again, the volume, guys, It's all about the volume. The volume is really low at the minute, so I wouldn't be expecting much from this. All right, Jody, let's have a look. So awesome. We got, hey, Precious Metals Updates. How you doing, man? It's good to see you. Where's your boat race, Limey? Hey, Oxy, how you doing? Where's your boat race? What are you guys in thinking in relation to Silver's latest move? Let me know in the comments, please. Yeah, so if we look at, this is obviously on the daily, we're going to take a look at the weekly and see where we are here. Again, we just seem to be hitting this level a bit too often, and we're not really reacting from that. That's what I was saying in the last video, or even in the community post I published, I think it was yesterday. I was saying more than likely we were going to be seeing some downward movements. That's why my suspicions of this initial pump up is essentially a potential to see movement back down again. So obviously once we're back up to this level, then we could fall back down to this support level, which is about 1683. That to me looks like a good area of support currently. So if we look at where this line is here, 1683 would make a lot of sense to me if we were going to see a drop down. In regards to the sort of bullish scenario, I don't really see it at the moment, mainly due to this volume. The volume is super low at the minute. However, we've had pretty consistent sell-offs here, quite big ones. So more than likely that's going to have to give at some point. So, you know, silver needs to decide which way it's going to be going in relatively soon. So one thing left to watch out for is which direction silver's headed. I definitely foresee a further move to the downside. This is on the weekly, just going to delete these. So today, quite a substantial amount of selling this week. The high there was 1711. We're currently at 17. So again, we're about 11 cents off for the week. We're 10 cents up, and the low was 1682. We are, if you look at from a low perspective, higher lows, we are looking like we're actually headed up. If you have a look at this line here, so I'm going to link these. That to me looks like we are headed up, which means that support will continue. Just depends though. This has only been 3 days, so we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Couch Potato Kennedy, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. We're up to 7 at the moment, guys. Thanks very much. Hit the like button, please. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Jody says, personally, I'm not bothered. Just more time to buy cheaply. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I managed to actually bag myself the Una and the Lion 2-ounce coin, so I'm really looking forward to that. I got confirmation today from the Royal Mint, so really looking forward to doing an unboxing video. I've got some more videos lined up, guys. I've got my NGC results as well. I will be the videos pending, so I'm just going to do. I've got this one video I need to release first of that batch that I did, and then the NGC graded coins will be shown. So keep an eye on that. Mark B, how you doing, Mark? It's good to see you. Well, Bill's Hobby says, wishing I could have waited a few weeks to buy. Oh, well, I'm not planning to sell anytime soon. Yeah, amazing. Some guys are not selling at the moment, so some are not buying. I mean, I'm still selling some stuff at the moment. Ideally, there's some coins. Actually, I've just sold something yesterday. My last batch of graded coins. I literally put a video on 2 days ago. Got an offer for it. Counter offered, sold it yesterday. And then today as well, I had one of my proof coins from Isle of Man. That sold today after quite a long time on eBay. So glad to see that finally gone. Just leaves room for more things to buy, right? So at 17, it's really tough for it to hold at this level, guys. You can see on the weekly here. This is the 20 EMA line. It's pretty stiff resistance. I'm going to create another arrow there so you guys can see it. Right there is our resistance line. You can clearly see it because we've tried to break up, failed all the way down. Again today, try to break up, and we've ended up below that level there. So more than likely, I'm going to be seeing some more movement to the downside. That's certainly what I'm expecting. So there could be some potential moves for people wanting to save a few cents, essentially when they're buying their silver. It's more than likely we're going to see some activity next week, because we're just not getting through 17. We're going down 1680, then 1690, then 17, then back down. It just seems to be that cycle, and eventually something big has got to give. You know, we've got to see like a good 20-cent drop or 25-cent drop to get the buys back in, to get the momentum to go back up. That's exactly what I'm expecting. We're up to 9 watching at the minute. Let's have a look. So Jody, here we go. Jody says these price charts are just paper notes rather than physical. At some point, these contracts will be called in rather real metal than digits in bankrupt banks. Well, some institutions use physical to back up their paper transactions. So keep that in mind, Jody. I know there's some that don't, but there are some institutions that use physical to back up their ETFs. Look at the monthly quick. Well, we've had 4 months of or 3 months of just consistent sideways momentum. We've barely moved from these positions. So if we look at the monthly here, there's our resistance level and there's our support level, and that's pretty much where we've been trading for the last 3 months, guys. That's pretty substantial. Or at least for the last 2, that's when we had our high 3 months ago. However, for the last 2 months, we've just been sitting in a sideways momentum. If you look at this area here, where do you see that in the charts? Again, you don't see it. So which is interesting. So we could be in a 2-month consolidation period here. So it's going to be interesting to see if that is how this plays out. We'll be hit a 2-month consolidation period, and then maybe we might see some movements to the upside next month. So we'll have to wait and see for that. Right, let's look at a bit of news. Well, we're up to 10 watching, which is great. So let's check it out. So Mark B, he says, "Wild Bill's hobbies." Is that icon Crassum? Mudswat, man, how you doing? Good to see you, chart guy. Woohoo! always glad to see you, Mudswat. And we got Alex Coin Roll Hunter, man. Alex, how you doing? It's good to see you. Blended whiskey as well. Geez, guys, great to see you all. Thanks for dropping in here. Has anyone seen Deets Nuts? Just let me know. Anyway, let's have a look. Gold price. It says here, right? Gold price prediction, price rebound, but end month down 3.2%. This is by FX Empire. David Becker posted 29 minutes ago. Gold price moved higher on Friday, the last trading day of November. For the month, the yellow metal has declined by 3.2% as riskier assets gained traction. So obviously there was a lot of movement in regards to equities. The dollar eased and euro moved higher on Friday, paving the way for higher gold prices. The EU reported its preliminary estimate for November CPI, which rose more than expected. Germany surprised market participants with a decline in November unemployment queues, which slimmed by 16,000 people. So fair play, 16,000 people got jobs. Technical analysis: gold prices moved higher on Friday, but declined more than 3% for November. Spot is seen near the low at 1443. So again, I should probably be looking at the gold chart before we have a look at this, but anyway, this is what we're looking at now. The breakdown below this level would lead to a test of the August lows of 1400. Resistance is seen near the 10-day moving at 1664. Additional resistance is seen near the 50-day moving average of 1485. Short-term momentum has turned positive as the fast stochastic generated a crossover buy signal. The current trajectory points to higher prices. That's interesting. That's according to them. The EU reports CPI. The EU reports in preliminary estimates for November CPI, which climbed more than anticipated. The headline rate increased by 1% year on year, year over year, which compares to 0.7. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail there. That's all CPI related. Well, we're up to 13 again. Thank you very much. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. Great to be here, SilverGiveaways79. Awesome, man, Mudswat. I got him, says Mudswat. Right. Hey, man, Butchie Harding's here as well. Hey, buddy, how you doing? Anyone see the $4,000 gold bet by 2021? Wow, I have not seen that, but wouldn't surprise me with that that amount of what? That's a good couple of years away, or at least a year and a half away. Hit the thumbs up, folks. That's Wild Bill. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Gold Digger Dave, in the world where everything is going virtual, you can't go wrong buying anything of value that's tangible. Absolutely. Well, what is the major benefit of buying physical, guys? Just let me know in the chat. What is the major benefit that you see of buying physical over paper? Let me know. I'll just type this out so you guys can let me. Buying physical over ETF. There you go. That is the question to everybody in the chat. What is the major benefit of buying physical over ETF or electronic traded funds? But Johnny says, good, how's it going? I've got to go with your gut being out of the system. Absolutely, man. Hey, Silver Steeler. How are you doing, Silver Steeler? Good to see you. That is the question I'm posting to everybody there. What is the major benefit of buying physical over electronic traded fund? Butchie Harding says, can't take your money if you don't know where it is. Just think of a time when gold was $20 an ounce and the dollar was actually worth something back then. Well, yeah, don't forget the US dollar or the silver dollar was 15 to 1. So was $15 to an ounce of gold initially, and then it was moved up to 20. But before that, it was exactly that. I think they valued it at a 10. It was a tenth of an ounce or something. Well, it was equal to $1 US. There's the question, guys. I'll leave that with you, and I'm just going to carry on here. We're going to look at gold price now. Right, let's look at the gold. So there's our pump for today, which is pretty interesting. It's far bigger than the silver pump. The silver pump was interesting where it was fairly small. It was more of a sideways movement. It touched support level and it went up, but it didn't go up to the sort of level that we're seeing at the moment. However, this is on the 4-hour. We want to see the daily. So let's have a look at the daily. There you go. And that is pretty much our problem at the minute. Is if you look at this chart, it's very similar in regards to silver currently. There's our resistance zone, which is exactly where the 100 EMA line is. I mean, it's actually comical looking at this, because that 100 EMA line has been pretty consistent resistance for quite some time now. You can see we've broke up above it, trying to build a level of support in this area, sell off, all broken down, and now we're starting to get back up. The pump initially pushed on through that, but then it was rejected, and we pretty much need to see ourselves above this line in order for us to see further movement in the right direction. If that is resistance, more than likely what we can expect is our support area is this area right here. That is going to be our support area, which is what, $1,452. You know, and that article was saying that we could see ourselves go down lower. So I think they were saying that a breakdown from that position could see it in this area here, which could put us personally, you're probably looking at 1430 would probably be the first level of support before we start going down to the sub 1400s. Also, that's our 200-day moving average, which has been pretty solid stuff. Another reason is to think is the 100 EMA average has not been broken since pretty much we had our run. That was back in the 30th of May. It's pretty much stayed clear, and we're only now starting to hit it, which then sort of makes me believe that we are starting to see a decline here as well, because we've been fairly way up there. I mean, this is on the daily, and we've been pretty consistent in keeping up above these two levels, with the exception of this big drop which happened here. So now we're actually below the 100, and for me that is a potential to see further downward movement, and that could coincide with what that article was saying, and that we could see a bit of downward pressure. We've seen that pump today. It's failed. Generally, we've consistently hit resistance and really fallen back. If that continues, the volume's going to shrink up. We should see a drop. That's my expectation, and my opinion is that we should see a drop here for the price of gold. And that's our support level there at $1,452 first. If that breaks, more than likely we're going to be headed down into this area here, 1435 area. And again, that looks pretty firm. And then if not, we're headed down to the early 1400s. And below that, I think that was where they were saying 1400 is that area there. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. Let's really check the chat. Let's see what the comments are. Right, what is the major benefit of buying physical over electronically traded funds? Can't take your money if you don't know where it is. Well, Bill says, just think of the time. Yep, we saw that one. Jody, whatever happens, it's my gold. So we're saying it's more physical as well. Hey, Silver Limey 79 and all. Hope all in the I hope all of you are well in the US. Have a great Thanksgiving. Excellent, thanks, Health Babe. Always good to see you. Gold Digger Dave says, old saying, but if you don't hold it, you don't own it. Lovely. Everything started going to crap when it went down, when it went to $35. Yeah, that's right. That's when they were constantly adjusting it. Blender Whiskey says, buying physical gold is the best way to hide money in a divorce. He's onto something there, but I won't go into. It's not about hiding money, but well, to a degree, not necessarily about divorce. But I just want to see if anyone's picked up on it. I can hold the silver. Being a silver addict, I can't go long without holding, touching, and staring at it. Do I need help? Silver stealer. Butchie Harding says, wouldn't that be great if we could trade 30 ounces for an ounce of gold in a few years? Man, you never know what's going to happen. Gold, what gold? Says Jody. Blended whiskey, also the best way to hide money from debt collectors. Example, medical debts. Just to mention, if they started accepting precious metals as some form of exchange. Health Babe says, Silver Limey 79, like 10. Thank you very much. Butchie Harding says, actually, what cocaine? Question mark. And then Jody, let's have a look. Detecting Daddy says, hello everyone, how you doing? Mudswat says, physical PMs can be held and traded as needed. If the stuff hits the fan and they can't pay out my ETFs, I have physical precious metals. What is one of the biggest things they're pumping at the moment? They're trying to get everything digital. They're trying to reduce the amount of cash. They're trying to, the one major point I was trying to say is when you're holding precious metals, or the best benefit of physical is obviously security for one, for the limit. However, privacy. I know someone's brought this up. I think it might have been DB Stupid. Is privacy, guys. Is that if you're holding precious metals, it's extremely private because no one else will know, with the exception of yourself. I mean, obviously they can see maybe a transaction or something. They'll say that you bought it, but they don't know what you've done with it. So I'd say one major benefit of holding physical is privacy, guys, because that's all changing. Don't forget that. So privacy was what I was wanted to get across. Let's have a look. Silver Limey 79 ETF does not allow the holders to redeem physical gold. It may be done by an arrangement in bulk. Absolutely, totally agree with you. It can be done with an arrangement. Some, though, do back their ETFs with physical, though. I'm not saying all of them do. Junior's made me for yesterday look good today. There you go. Gold Digger Dave. I can beat a robber to death with my gold bars. I beat him up with a that's Butchie Harding, that's class. Hopefully you have more than 1 ounce. Yeah, hopefully. But you're gonna like throw them at him. Physical PMs in your possession are real tangible liquid assets outside the system with no counterparty risk. There you go, precious metals update. Come to think about it, it should have waited. It should have waited to buy gold also. There you go. Minus everyone who watches my YouTube channel. Very true. Try to see. There we go. So that was the point I was trying to come across, was not piracy, but privacy. Physical gives you privacy in regards to how you keep your. And I suppose the same could be said for cash to a degree. If, but hence why they want us to go, all digital use, tap and go systems. They're trying to restrict the use of cash in some countries. I know Fozzie Alchemist was here. He says that they're trying to pass laws so you can limit the amount of cash that you can withdraw, or that you can obviously spend. I think it was 10,000 Australian dollars, which isn't really a lot of money. But yeah, it's the privacy which is the major issue. Let's have a look. Blended Whiskey says, I can take my physical gold with me to my grave, I think. Yeah, I'm sure you can. But good luck. I'm sure the Undertakers will have something to say about that. I'm sure the Undertakers would say, yeah, no problem. Yeah, we put all the gold in there with him. Absolutely. No issue. Meanwhile, it's in his car boot. Something like that. Cash is just a credit debt notes. Look what happened to India. No, I don't understand. I'm not trying to justify cash as but I'm just saying it could be private to a degree. But what good is it? It's not. It's not backed by precious metals like we do silver and gold and platinum and palladium, I suppose, to a degree. Right, guys, let's look at the weekly here for gold. Right, so there we go. That's our weekly. Right, the last 3 weeks we've been range bound in this area here. What is interesting, yet again, whenever we come to the end of the week, guys, it's always the same thing. We always seem to have an issue trying to get above a certain resistance area, and there's no surprise here. It's the same again. That is where we are. As you can see, we're just under the 20 EMA line. So again, we need to try and see movements just to get ourselves back above that, in the hope of seeing some sort of movement. If we look at where we are here, price at $1,463 for an ounce of gold, and our point is back here, which is 1,400. That could be what they're looking at. If you look at that article I just showed you guys, for those that missed it, you're more than welcome to cycle back and have a look. I think they said gold could go as low as 1,400, which puts it basically on this the 50 EMA line for the weekly. And that is mainly because of this area here. There's been substantial support in that area, whereas once we go down from this level here, old resistance then becomes new support. So we should see a hold at 1433, and if that doesn't hold, then more than likely we're going to see ourselves at this level here at 1410, and finally at 1400. Now, the case for the bulls, do we see potential to see a movement to the upside? Well, let's have a look here. So there's our previous high up there. Again, it doesn't look that long ago. We've had quite a big drop sell-off down here. So we've broken down below that level, and we're sort of hovering through there. So the volume seems to have died off a bit. If you look at how big these candles are here, nice big large candles to a degree. We've had our major sell-off here, and the volume's still pretty low. I'd still be pretty skeptical in regards to movement to the upside. If the bulls were to come into force, more than likely 1480 at the moment is our first area of resistance. That is pretty much where that line is. Above that line there, the more than likely we're going to be looking at this area here. That's around the 1505 mark. I'd even say possibly 1500 is probably the next resistance line. And then finally, that's where we've been sitting for quite some time, is be unable to get above the 1520 area. Gold's got to get through all these 3 steps here in order for it to go into a bullish cycle phase. Currently, it's not there, plain and simple. Right, let's have a look. Jody says, same as the 500 euro notes. Well, the 500 euro notes were withdrawn, Jody. They don't use them there. Half the time there's loads of people counterfeiting them. So apparently they've withdrawn them. They're no longer legal tender, I believe. Jody says Poland took back $5 billion worth of physical gold from London this month. Yeah, that's right. I heard about that. I'm surprised nobody... I don't think anyone covered that, actually. That would have been a good one. They banned all notes over a certain value with 3 days' notices. That is Jody. That's what says Jody. And lots of countries are moving gold around. They know something we don't. Well, I've always said this before. There's central banks buying gold. And even from a perspective of China and Russia, who want to move away from the gold, from the dollar standard, if you can call it that. They want to move away from that for international exchanges. So it'll be interesting to see how successful they are with that. Jody says, agree there, Mudswat. It's like, why would you take that much back? Crazy times coming. Yep, that's right. Repatriating their gold stocks. They want to have it in the bank physical. That's what says absolutely. Right, let's look at gold on the monthly and see how we've been tracking for the last couple of months. There it is again. Right, so there was our previous high there at 1556. The last 2 months, very similar to silver, with one exception. We've gone into a higher low cycle, which is interesting. There we go. But again, the main body candles have all been in that area there. So we've had consistent period for the last 2 months of that sort of sideways movement, particularly when it comes to the top here, guys. If you have a look there, 1520's been that area where we just haven't been able to get above for the last 2 months. So it's a matter of gold getting back above that level in order for it to resume back into a bullish cycle. Currently lower lows, and if you have a look at it, we're actually heading, we're making higher lows as well. So lower lows and higher lows are a recipe for bearish move, but it'd be interesting to see how this plays out for next month. Right. Platinum as well has seen a bit of movements in regards to it moving back. Right, let's look at platinum there. Okay, platinum today has seen a bit of a sell-off in relation to silver and gold. Silver still holding at $17 currently, everybody. Jody says, oh man, Sal, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Celibate Metal, guys, is in the chat. Jody says, the strange thing about Poland, their gold was reminted, then delivered back to them. Wow, that's interesting. Celibate Metal, man, how you doing? Good to see you, Sal. Mark B says, hi, Uncle Sal. He's dropping in to say hello. I love it. Mudswat says, I wish I had $5 billion worth of gold. I'm sure that's probably all of us, Mudswat. I don't think anyone would disagree with you there. Everyone's saying hello to Sal. Hey, Sal, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Looking at platinum, guys, let's have a look so we can see a nice formation. We've had our sell-off, our reaction rally pushed up. Topped at 915, then the sell-off, and now we're having that sort of reaction rally picking up momentum again. However, it's a little bit harder to get through here. We've currently tried to break through multiple resistance areas. So when we look at resistance, guys, that is our top resistance level currently, which is this line here. This is the 200-day moving average. Hang on, let's go back to the daily. I'm not interested in looking at the hourly at the moment. We want the daily chart. So there we go. That is pretty much where our resistance area is right now. So we've got our yellow and orange EMA. The yellow is 20, as our 20-day moving average, and the orange is our 50-day moving average, all roughly within the same. The 20 and the 50 are around 900. That is pretty much our stiff resistance area. The reason why I'm saying that is because you can clearly see here, there's our resistance level there as well, which matches up to this area here. We've also got a resistance here, which then becomes new support once it has been broken through. However, we've tried to break through a few days back. Rejection kicked in. It looked like we were positive. That was on Tuesday, guys. We were looking like we were gonna be getting into a multiple phase, and that's what I mentioned in Tuesday's video, because we had a strong momentum up. Unfortunately, the sell-off pulled back, and we immediately hit that resistance zone here, and rejection kicked in, and we fell back to the 100 moving average. Then we found ourselves between these two lines, which is exactly what's been happening the last couple of days. When I mean these two lines, we're between the 100, actually three lines, the 20, the 50, and the 100. So we're trading between those two levels there, and it's looking a bit messy. And we're currently $895 for an ounce of platinum. There we go. Scrapping Holding 10 Crew Fun. Good afternoon, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you very much for dropping in. Jody says, I'm happy with my $10 million. I'm sure I'll be happy with $10 million as well. Mudswat says, hello. Scrapping Holding 10 Crew Fun. How's it going? I think everyone's saying hello as well. Paints and Doors, apparently. Was waiting for someone to come on live. Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining us here. Mudswat says, I saw platinum would go through the roof. I was wrong. That was, I mean, if you look at Tuesday's live stream, that was my emphasis, mainly because how strong that push up was, and we had that initial breakout, but then it started to pull back, and there you go. You can clearly see the rejection kick in. Fantastic, Sal. Good to see you, man. Limey is all business. Scrapping Holding 10 Crew Fun. Thanks, buddy. Jody says the best thing about physical PMs is you can hold and sell when you want. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's privacy. You can decide when to sell. No one's there to take their slice. Once you've got it, it's yours. Silver Limey 79. I'm still waiting for platinum to go down before making my purchase. What price are you waiting for, Health Babe? Let me know, please. What price are you waiting for? I think if I remember correctly, we were at what, 780 the last time. We saw that movement down. Health Babe says tons. Sullivan Metal says, hey Health Babe, I hope you get more platinum next year if it stays low. I know for me, platinum is probably going to see higher highs next year based on the eventual shortage of the metal once more continual buying continues. But that's for another video anyway. Mark B says, Silver Limey, I spent all my money last week on silver. I can't look at Black Friday deals, man. Yeah. Let me know how many people managed to get a reverse proof S, please, in the chat. Who managed to get one of them? I know Sal obviously got one. Did anyone else manage to get a reverse proof S? Who got one? Man, there were loads of videos out there. Yeah, so who managed to get one of those? There we go. Sorry, that's... Mudswat says next year as in January. Man, not that soon. Mudswat. I just traded 1 ounce of gold for 3 ounces of silver plus $150. Wow, good job. An ounce of gold for 3 ounces of silver. What did you buy, Sullivan Metal? It was impossible that you would have made that move, unless it was for something pretty amazing. So I want to know. Sullivan Metal says I did and just traded it. What did you get, bud? That's what says if anyone would get one, it would have been Sal. I'd say you must have picked up something interesting. SilverGiveaways, yep. I stay disciplined for any medals. If it gets to my price below 800, there we go. So that's Health Babe. She's making a decision. She will buy platinum if it hits below $800 an ounce. If I get one, I'm turning into a coin ring for my middle finger. Then I'm sending the picture to the mint. Yeah, man, I thought that was a bit of a joke. Everyone was saying that you got to send the boxes sealed to the mint, but I presume that's probably just to get the certificate. Oh, there we go. Silver Medal's just here. He's going to post a video on it. Good man. I think in order to get the certificate certified with it, you have to send it sealed. Otherwise, I'm sure you probably could have sent it in sealed, but then the certificate wouldn't have been. Personally, sending it in with a certificate, I just think is ridiculous. I thought that was a bit interesting. You'll be waiting forever, Health Babe, says Jody. Well, let's see where 700 is, guys. So this is where 700 is. There we go. Well, she said below 800 to be fair. So this is where 800 is right now. So I'm going to leave that marker there. So in case we ever come across it, I'll say that is Health Babe's arrow. So whenever we eventually, if we ever do hit that line, looking at it here though, it looks like platinum's pretty solid resistance there at that level. That is the 865 level. So we're at 895. We're still okay. We could see ourselves trading between these two areas here, between 900 and 890 in the short term. If we break down from there, we're headed down to this level here, the 873, and then maybe bottom at 864. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. From a bullish case scenario, let's have a look. Is there reason for us to see it break out from this position? Well, there's an attempted breakout there which failed, which is all rejection, which means it was not ready to break out. If we see further build up momentum in this direction here, more than likely we're going to hit resistance pretty hard. We're at resistance here, resistance there, resistance there. It's looking pretty messy, personally, for platinum to try and get higher. And I'm putting all these little arrows here, guys, so you can pretty much see where all the resistance is. So we're pretty much looking at between 895 and 924. So it's really got to get above that level in order for us to see it move into a bullish cycle. And that means getting into this area here where the support line can maintain, and hopefully then we can start heading up higher. Let's look at the weekly chart for platinum at the moment. Right, there we go. Weekly chart, man, it looks like sell-off for the last 3 weeks. Or at least the 2 weeks we've just seen consistent selling. It's tried to break out, it's been rejected, tried to break out, being rejected. So that 20 line is holding though. Look at that, guys. The 20 is the first precious metal that we've looked at so far where the 20 average is actually being held, and looks like we should finish above that. So that to me is an interesting sign altogether. So long as we can maintain that level, we can create support off that and then maybe consider moving up. However, there is a descending resistance line up ahead, so we could see ourselves be rejected, back down again, rejection, back down again. So we'll have to see how we get on there. Let's have a look at the monthly. So I'm just going to check the chat quick. Health Babe says, Jody, that's fine. Not in a hurry. Just like what I'm doing to my mining stocks, it takes years to accumulate my allocation. There we go. Sending to have it graded, but it has to be sealed. As shady as at the best. So do you have to send it in order to get it graded, just the coin as opposed to getting the certificate? I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to get the certificate authenticated and sealed as well as the coin. Surely you can send the coin in and you don't need to send the certificate. That's what I'm trying to work out, because that's just ridiculous. SilverGiveaways 79, patience. Patience do pay out for accumulating anything. I've been proving to myself there is always opportunity, since all markets are. That are very true. It's a very good point there, Health Babe. Right, let's just go back to Platinum here before we finish off on Platinum. So let's look at the monthly just quickly here. Right, there's our monthly. Again, what's interesting is that we've actually ended up higher than most. Again, one of the interesting precious metals is that we are starting to, from the main body candle perspective, however, not from a wick perspective. Well, wick perspective is heading down. However, if we have a look at this line here, we're making new highs, exception of that line there. So the market, again, pretty much still undecided which way it's going to go. So we've had 2 months of sideways consolidation to a degree, very much the same as all the other metals. They all seem to be in the same playing field. But there we go, platinum, $895 an ounce. Right, we're going to look at palladium, and then we'll finish off with Bitcoin. Palladium's hit new highs, guys. Palladium is looking fantastic. It's probably one of the metals that I wish I got in years ago. I've discussed this in previous charts when we've looked at the price of palladium. Palladium, $1,840 an ounce. It's only down 50 cents. It's made new highs again. I think it's more than likely going to be consistently making new highs. The demand for palladium at the moment is ridiculous. That's the reason why we're seeing these higher prices for palladium. Health Babe says, Silver Limey, when started to get into precious metals, I always had an itch to buy coins regardless of the price. I learned in the hard way, if my price target does not come, I can focus on others. That is Health Babe. Silver Limey, I bought some other yellow metal recently at a very good price. Awesome, that's fantastic. Health Babe, thanks very much for sticking around. Always an absolute pleasure. Hopefully catch you on the next one. Please hit the like button, which I'm sure you have already. Sal's in the house still. That's fantastic, Sal. I have to run too. Take care. Well, thanks very much, Sal. I'm looking forward to that video. Will you be posting that tonight? You'll probably be doing a live stream yourself, probably later on. I'll see if I can try and make it. I'll drop in and say hello. Confrontational nonconformist. Man, this dude is freaking awesome. Sorry, been lurking in the big. Just had to pop in into the front and say that. Well, thanks very much, confrontational nonconformist. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it, my man. Always glad to help everybody. It gives you an idea on potential moves for precious metals. There's not many people doing this. It's great to actually focus on this, and of course also do my occasional videos for precious metals. Really awesome feedback. Thank you. Well, my 5-ounce silver bar is still in the positive. That's Mudswat. So you must have really bought it at a good price there. Well done, Mudswat. That's just great. By the way, the Fed has gone insane for Q4 to create more liquidity. That's the main reason why investors move their cash back into the equity market. That has caused recent spot decline. You're absolutely right. That's right. That's exactly what they did, Health Babe. Thank you for that. Like my only piece that remains positive. Yeah, well, hopefully we'll eventually move into next year, hopefully starting to make those higher highs, and then everyone will back into positive territory, Mudswat, and create a bit more a positive outlook for precious metals. Right, getting into palladium. It's $1,840. What magical stuff. If you'd bought palladium in January of 2016, guys, I've said this over and over again, it would have cost you $445 for an ounce of palladium back then. Now that's in next will be 4 years in January. That's a 4-year return to make a substantial amount of money. Because even if you were to include a premium on that, let's say it's a $200 premium, so it's $650 an ounce for palladium back then, almost 4 years ago. You'd be looking at almost $1,300 profit for 1 ounce of palladium. Sensational stuff. Right, palladium looking great though. Look at it. It's just consistently performing well. We can see it here. We've got some good green activity there. We're going to see how we get on now. Just hold on a sec, guys. Right, so let's sorry, just had to, the dog was moving around there. I'm sure you guys probably heard that in the background. Cheers, Health Babe. It's good to see you. Thank you very much. Print, print, print. That's exactly what the Fed like doing best. Okay, so let's take a look. So yeah, from a Palladium perspective, it's in good territory. It's well above the 20. I mean, just look at that. It's magnificent, guys. Absolutely magnificent. That's what we want to see in gold, and that's what we want to see in silver. Consistent performance above this 20 moving average. That's this yellow line. There's the average there. We can see it up here with my crosses. It has $1,778. This is the average for the last 20 days. Phenomenal stuff, and we're just constantly, the moment we broke down, I posted a video when we did that, and I said to you, more than likely we're going to expect a return back up, and that's exactly what happened. We broke down, reaction rally pushed us all the way up here. Volume is looking a little light. We could see a bit of a pullback if we have a look at where we are, maybe closer to the 1800, maybe a little bit more. 1810, we could see a bit of a pullback down to create support for the next movement to the upside, but $1,840 an ounce for Palladium. Let's look at the weekly. How the weekly is going to look good, guys. I mean, look at all that green. Yeah, look at that. Magnificent. So there we have it. Just nice moves. A couple of weeks of selling, but again, nothing major. We've created a support area here. The reason why we can say we've got a decent support level is this, because of where the resistance was previously, right here. So we've got these two candles here just finishing there. Once we broke through, old resistance then becomes new support, which is exactly what's happened here. We pushed up, sold back down to that level. That's where our support level kicked in. The buyers came back into the market and pushed the price back to the upside. That's exactly what happened. Mudswat says, be right back. He's getting some coffee. Man, I'm gonna have to make some dinner soon. It's about 20 past 8 where I am at the moment. So that's the reason why we can look at support at that level, and it's a good area, especially when you're looking at charts. It gives you a good indication of where a potential pullback could drop to, and in most cases, whenever we see a pullback below that support line, in some cases we'll see the buyers come back into the market and get us back above that level. It consistently happens when you're looking at charts. That's exactly how the market tends to play out, is that if there's a sell-off, it'll go back down to its support level. That's where the buying will happen then, and you'll see those wicks start to get a little longer, and you'll see the main body candles move up. It'll give you a good indication if there's going to be quite a big drop. Is a good idea to get in and buy at those low prices, because more than likely you'll see the movement return to the upside. Again, we don't really need to look at Palladium on the monthly because it's just magic. Let me look at that. There you go. And it's just green, green, green for the last 3 months. $1,840 an ounce, guys. Right. We'll be looking at some Bitcoin. La Bitcoin, everybody. Right, let's have a look. Bitcoin currently $7,739 for a token. There we go. Mudswat's back for coffee. Let me know you're still listening there, guys who aren't taking part in the chat. Really appreciate you listening. Thank you very much. Please like the video, add your comment in as well. If you're watching this video afterwards, your feedback is greatly appreciated. Right, this was from the previous video I did. You can see we've fallen into this channel, which is great. I put this channel in, guys, and I even extended it to a point, and this is exactly what's happened. We've had this breakdown, and we're constantly sitting into this channel. We're going to try and see if we can zoom in here. Right, 7,739. Right, so that's where we were. That was on Tuesday. I said that's where our resistance line was going to be. We pushed on through. That was Wednesday. We broke through that level, creating a level of support, which is exactly what's happened, guys. It's textbook play out. I mean, I want to move this here. That is where our support is, right there. The reason why we can call that support is because that's exactly where we pushed up from. So we've got a good level of support there, which will tie in with this area here. So there's our resistance line initially. You can see a couple of days we had to try and break through. Finally, 3 days ago, we pushed through it, then created a level of support, which is exactly what's happened here. There was a bit of a sell-off. The support zone kicked in and we pushed up higher. Currently, we hit the 20 moving average line, and guess what? We've pulled back something as well. So we pulled back slightly. Could this mean a potential move breaking out from this position? There's still a substantial amount of resistance, guys, and this is another thing to take note when you're looking at Bitcoin. We've got loads of resistance currently. That is our resistance area, which is the 20 moving average right over there. And the reason why we can say that is because of all this area here. This has been previous support levels, which is now resistance. When old support is broken, it then becomes new resistance, vice versa. Whenever it's like this constant battle when we see the charts. You're either resistance or you're either support. And in this circumstances, it's heavy resistance up ahead, mainly because there's been a substantial area here. So what would be the possible here? It's if you can't break out above that level, more than likely there's going to be some consolidation to the side to try and see if they can push out. If there's rejection, it's going to be headed down. So there you go. There you can that was our big move down. We've a reaction rally is kicked in. However, there's been consistent resistance ahead. Right, let's have a look. Scrapping, hoarding, tinkering fun. Yep, still here. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Something you may want to consider investing in lithium. The increase in electric cars and battery-powered items could affect the price. Absolutely, I don't disagree. They are. If you look at hydrogen vehicles, one precious metal they use in that, platinum. That's the reason why I think for the time ahead, it's good to take advantage of prices and that, but you've got to think long term in regards to what hydrogen could do. Ultra clean energy. The byproduct is water. To me, that is true zero emission technology. Sorry, Silver Limey said I've been lurking, listening while decorating for Christmas. Wow, that's great. Precious metals update. I got one of those enhanced reverse proofs ASCs, Silver Limey. Man, you make me so jealous there, man. I actually bought one, but it's not the. I bought the W. I had to get something. I couldn't walk away empty-handed, so I bought the Pride of Two Nations set, and I'm just waiting for it to come through. So hopefully it'll definitely be here before Christmas. And then I also bought the Una and the Lion proof coin, which I posted in my community posts. So just waiting for that. I got confirmation from the Royal Mint that's been posted. Really looking forward to that. It's been sold out. I think it was within 3 days it was sold out. Not as quick as the ASC, considering the limited numbers, but obviously the price is substantial. But yeah, looking forward to that. Jody says, I tried to send BTC to another address and the exchange needed 72 hours to verify my transaction. That's insane. And that means they probably don't. Some exchanges will allow the notification to be cleared quickly. So that's interesting that they want to take 72 hours to verify the exchange. That is ridiculous. Back to 6K. That is Crypto Elf. Man, how you doing? Back to 6K to confirm bottom or down to 4K. Man, I'm just waiting for lower lows. I just see lower lows right now. What drugs are you on? Scrapping? Tells there's a buy right now. What the Cybertruck? Did you guys watch that thing? What an absolutely insane vehicle. It's interesting. It's growing on me a little in regards to its design. I'll get Tesla on a good pullback waiting. There you go. Crypto Elf says, I'm so ready for 6K BTC in February. Man, I tell you what, it's and December is normally good for crypto, which is maybe interesting. We might see a reverse rally in regards to in the short term in crypto, but I said we might. I'm looking at the volume just down here. It's still looking pretty lackluster. So we'll have to wait and see. If Bitcoin breaks to the downside, where are we going to be headed? Well, there's looking at these levels here. So that's our next key level of support is in this area, which is,
I don't see spam in your contacts.
Well, that was Siri that just came on in the background there. Yeah, so 7,374 would be the next level of support if we were to fall down from that level. If we fall down greater than that, then more than likely we're going to be headed down to the early 7,000s. If we fall down further than that, it's going to be the 6.5s, and then finally early 6,000s. That's mainly due to this ascending support line, which is pretty much held, descending support line, which is pretty much held at early 6s. However, again, that's based on feedback from over a year ago. If that is irrelevant, guys, we're pretty much going to be seeing ourselves down at this level here. And there's one of my previous markers. I said there, $5,800 Bitcoin. So again, it's, also think of it that way. The altcoin market is probably going to be taking a bashing as well, because if Bitcoin were to fall by 2,000, you can expect the other altcoins to fall down significantly. Lots of arrows going on there. But yeah, there we go. So Bitcoin 7,748. Let's look at the weekly for Bitcoin. We'll see if we can get a bit more of a clearer pattern forming. Okay, so some of these arrows are going to have to go. Right, there you go. There you go. It's falling straight into that slot. So for me, the most obvious thing is that we're probably going to see ourselves bouncing around in this area here as we start to head lower. The most logical point there, a good area of support, is 5.5 grand. This line though is still currently holding, and that is the 100 moving average line, which was last broken here in April of this year. So that is still currently holding at the moment. A breakdown from that position is definitely going to open up wider trading potential between 7 and 4,800. Man, at 4,800, guys, I'll tell you what, I might consider just accumulating some Bitcoin at those levels. Right. Let me know what you think, please. Well, we've got a few messages kicking in now. Let's have a crypto elf says, I'll get Tesla on a good pullback waiting. Mudswat says, if gold was a drug, I'd be a drug user. Would you also be a pusher then? Precious metals. I'm going to get it rush graded and flip it while it's still hot, Silver Limey. Not that big of a collector, more of a stacker. I can't resist the opportunity. Yeah, funny you should say that. I had to enjoy the moments of watching people that stack that actually bought that coin, because they paid $65 for an ounce, and their philosophy has always been, buy silver at the lowest price. Yet when that coin came out, they will happily spend $65 for 1 ounce of coin, for 1 ounce of silver. I really thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I suppose so. They were willing to spend that money, even though it went against their principles. So yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. Jody, that'll rust in a week in Ireland. That's Mudswat there. Precious Metals Update says, what? Jody, even Siri thinks don't buy Tesla. I don't even know how that came on. That was just bizarre, man. Tesla took a major hit, then got 2,000 pre-sales. Stock will back up. The problem is though, with so much stock on back order, man, eventually, they've really got to fill those orders, but I'm sure some of those are going to fall off. Who's going to wait 6 months to a year for a vehicle? I mean, it just ain't going to happen. That's Precious Metals Updates. Great comment, my friend. Shoot, it's back up to 7.7. I know what you mean. It was at 6.8, then it just rallied to about 7.5, and it's slowly chipping away. But there's tons of resistance ahead. Don't be too concerned yet, Mudswat. Jody says the big day will be Monday. How is China going to respond to the US over Hong Kong? Yeah, that's why, man, I'm looking forward to next week to see how the precious metals market move. The altcoin market cap looks like a head and shoulders. I know it doesn't look great at all, Crypto Elf. Jody says Bitcoin is dead. I'm sure Crypto Elf would have something to say about that, Jody. I wouldn't say it's dead just yet. We might see really low prices for Bitcoin, which is great. It gives everybody another opportunity to get in for the next big move. Very, very true, Jody. That Hong Kong bill thing will definitely move the markets. Confrontational nonconformist. Okay, newbie question here. What would the minimum buy-in be? Or do I need to shut up and get back to lurking and learn some more? I'm not sure what are you referring to there, confrontational nonconformist? True, Silver Limey. We bought it because we knew it would be hot and we could flip it, make money, buy lots more metals with the profit. Yeah, but that's precisely what I'm saying is that everyone went against their grain, you know, and spent $65 for an ounce. But yet their whole philosophy has always been, no, buy as close to spot as possible. And you know what? It just happened to be that coin went up as much as it has. I mean, I've seen it graded ones go up for $5,000 for, and I've seen them sold bids at $5,000. I don't know who's buying, but I tell you what, there's plenty of money out there for coinage. I just thought that was hilarious, man. Americans will wait. Look at the PT Cruiser. You reckon? I doubt it. And I mean, I'm sure some will wait. A scrapping, holding, tinkering fun. Absolutely. Jody says confrontational. Whatever you are, happy to lose. Lol. I'm all in. Jody says Bitcoin just doesn't work. What's its purpose? Well, it's don't forget, Jody. It's evolved. Bitcoin has evolved. Initially, when Bitcoin was formulated and created, it was created as an alternative to people using banks as the middleman. Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer system. That's exactly why it was made, because of how the banks have wrecked our money. And what Bitcoin did is it cut out the banks totally and allowed those cheap transfers. But from a trust perspective, you were trusting. The trust was between two people, the sender and the sender and the receiver. That's the way it is. No middleman taking a slice. That's why you can. I mean, I think what was it? How much was transferred? 12,000 Bitcoin, something like that, valued at, I don't know, $89 million or something. It only cost a fraction of that, of him sending that money with Bitcoin. In general, to invest in confrontational, says nonconformist, in general, to invest in metals or Bitcoin. Well, I think first of all, confrontational is do research. That's one of the things I didn't do when I got into precious metals. I just went off the hype. I was like, man, this looks good, something to get into, just spend the money. So do your research. Most important of all, know what you're getting into, and you be prepared to take some sort of loss. I mean, whether or not you will be taking a loss, but just consider that. And only put money you're prepared to lose. Jody says, instead of buying Bitcoin, just burn the cash. It would be more enjoyable and lasting longer. Well, Bitcoin's actually worth more than the cash. That is the hilarious thing. Jody says, lol, I sent you PayPal, not BTC. That's Jody. That was PayPal. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But there was talk of PayPal using crypto as a medium of exchange. Because PayPal were hoping, I think, we're going to be using crypto to allow them the liquidity to do larger transfers or something like that. Jody says, enact, you owe me some. Yeah, I will take the profits and buy the lowest premium gold or platinum that I can buy. Maybe silver too. It all depends on what kind of profit I actually get. Well, fair play to your precious metals update. Personally, I would probably do a nice spread. If I was in your position, I had a coin that I graded and I sold for that, I would probably try and get a good spread of precious metals. So the whole benefit of getting a spread of precious metals is to reduce risk. So instead of just spending $2,000 on silver, you could consider, like I think, like you were saying there, you'll get, you know, a bit of this and a bit of that. Is go for some platinum, go for some gold, go for some silver. Do a nice spread, but do a percentage buy. That's the way I would do it. I'm not saying do the same as me, and I'm certainly not telling you how to spend your money. That's up to you, but that's probably the way I would do it. Jody says, where are you based? UK, EU, MAGA? I'm based in Ireland. So yeah, EU. That's me, Jody. Limey is from Ireland, says Precious Metals Update. Confrontational nonconformist. Okay, thank you, and thank you to Jody. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, decide on how much do you want to put in, and then probably your best bet is to do a percentage breakdown of what you want to invest. The more metals you have, the more diverse your portfolio is, the less risk you're going to take. Confrontational. DB Stupid says, "Happy Boxing Day." I thought Boxing Day used to be on Saint Stephen's Day. Yeah, DB Stupid said, or is that the day after Christmas? Yeah, that's what I was saying. I only started this year with yellow, then whacked in some 5 kilogram bars. That's the same with me. I only started with yellow this year as well, and I'm glad for it. I had the opportunity to actually get some. Now I've met my target for the year. I've got an ounce of the yellow metal. Super happy. I'm actually a little bit over. So I'm just ecstatic to actually get some. So now I've reduced my reliance on my silver returns, and now I've actually got a bit of gold now. So I'm a little bit more diverse. However, I do want to get some platinum at some point just to make it a little bit more, have a bit more of a diverse portfolio. That's the way I'd like to have it. After Christmas, DB. Scraping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fund says, you can use Bitcoin to purchase precious metals. The Bitcoin market is so volatile that you'll have room to make and lose serious money. Absolutely. You could go to bed and it's 8,000. You wake up in the morning and it could be 5,500. The problem is that when you're putting money into Bitcoin, you've got to make sure you're invested at the right time. So ideally in a bullish phase, because then you can be assured of when you are asleep, more than likely it's headed upwards. The problem with investing in Bitcoin right now is there's too much of a downward momentum or bearish move. So for me, I'd have trouble sleeping. And the thing is, you probably have to keep an eye on it consistently, like all the time. Have your phone ready, download an app, checking the price, go into your app wherever you do your trade for Bitcoin. You have to be constantly aware of it because nobody wants to lose money. Jody says, in fairness, I started with Bitcoin, then sobered up. So obviously Jody's moved on there. I like the spread idea, Silver Limey. We will see after I get the money in my hand. Absolutely, I think that's the best way to do it. Precious Metals Update. Awesome, really appreciate it, homies. There you go, confrontational. I'm giving some advice. Oh, not necessarily advice, but again, the choice is yours how you wish to do it. Suggestions is probably the word. I still put faith in platinum. There you go. I've still got faith in platinum as well. I just don't own any. Bitcoin is just a casino. I hated it when I got serious money on it. Couldn't sleep. That is Jody, man. Yeah, I was just constantly watching it. The thing is, you got to be invested in that. It's all about buying the lows. When it comes to Bitcoin, it's all about buying the lows, selling the highs, doing that whole cycle over again. Buying low, selling high, buying low, selling high, and just consistently doing that on a day-to-day basis. There's no point hodling. Anyone holding digital currencies, you're not helping yourself. You're just depreciating your asset where you could have just sold it high, waited patiently, and waited to buy back in. I've sold higher, way higher than where we are at the moment, and I'm waiting to buy into the market. That's the best way to do it. You just need to be patient. A lot of people think that the emotions tend to go in when you see those big candles go up for digital assets, and everyone's like, oh, maybe I should get in now. The problem is once you start chasing it, you really got to time it when you think it's going to hit down low in order to move up. That's where you're going to benefit from, not as it starts moving up. Because as it starts moving up, you got to know where to look, where the resistance lines are, where you foresee it hitting resistance. Because if you buy in that level, you're going to be in trouble. Right, guys, that's pretty much all I have today. thanks again for watching. It's always fantastic having you guys here. I really appreciate the support, guys. Thumbs up. Subscriber giveaway coming up soon. So once I hit 1,400 subscribers, we're going to be doing a good giveaway. And I'm going to put a suggestion in the community post in regards to what I should give away, whether it's going to be bullion or whether it's going to be some constitutional. I've got some constitutional there that we'll have to do something with. If anyone's interested in becoming a donator, please check the description for details. I've got 2 more spots available for the next giveaway, and we'll also do a chat giveaway. So it's going to be awesome. I've also got an idea for the next giveaway as well. That's going to be pretty awesome. I like it. I like the format I'm going to do for it. So I've got an idea for it. So we'll probably run with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Special thank you to my guys in the chat. Always an absolute pleasure chatting to everybody here. Everyone's chatting with each other. It's great. For those that are not subscribed to one another, definitely check each other's channels out. Hit the like button again, guys. Really an absolute pleasure. We'll do some shout outs in a sec there. Scrapping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun there says, I mined Bitcoin for a year. Have no idea how much I have or how to access it. You should have an application for that. Scraping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun. You should get that. That's Mudswat there. So Mudswat, Scraping, Hoarding, Tinkering Fun. We've got Jody here. Mark B. Jody says, please do another draw. Precious metals update. If you're willing to lose that money, then hold it if you want to, or if you want. No, true, absolutely. If you want to hodl, that's. If you're willing to lose that money, that's the best way to do it. Confrontational nonconformist, you're welcome, dude. Thanks again. Precious metals update we've already done. Let's see if we can get another couple of more guys here. Confrontational nonconformist. DB stupid, man. There you go. And probably one more here. Crypto Elf. Guys, thanks very much. I'm going to be loading some videos up. I've got an awesome video coming up, so make sure you're subscribed. Notification bells are hit, and I'll see you all on the next one, guys. Again, thanks for watching.